All right.
Raise your hand, we'll get Mike to you.
Hi, Kim. Just any parallels to last year with getting this group together in the first exhibition and what you're going to try to get accomplished?
Pretty much similar in that your exhibitions don't mean anything. It's like really just a practice with fans in the stands and a clock and officials. I don't put much stock in it other than I'm trying to see combinations. I'm trying to see if anything changes when the lights come on for some of them. And they're tired of beating up on each other, so they're excited.
Hey, Coach. At this point, obviously, you've only been, with about a month into it, but just how much are you starting to figure out lineup combinations, like you said, rotations and all that, and how much is still to go?
I think some of them are separating themselves. You want to be in the rotation of 8 or 9. And what I don't know is combinations together against certain man-to-man or zone things. I know what I see in practice against the dream team, but it gives you a different perspective when you're really in a game-type situation.
Coach, two-part question. Got 4 commitments for the 23 class. Do you like where you're at with a couple of weeks till signing day? And I don't know if you've commented on it yet, but the prospects of summer basketball that the NCAA is proposing, are you a fan of that or are you opposed?
I can't comment on recruiting until November 9th. I'm not sure what you're referring to about summer basketball.
Yeah, they were talking about proposing games, actual games that you can play in July and August, like up to 3 or 4 games.
Like I would have to look at y'all in July and August, like real games and sit in a press conference? No, I haven't kept up with that. Is that men's basketball or both? I have not seen that. But I wouldn't probably see that until one of my assistants brings it to my attention, if it's put on the board to actually be voted on or we get it from our administration. I have not seen that. It is going to happen? Lordy, lordy. Oh, I would love seeing y'all. I just don't want to work that hard in the summer. I want my summers to be busy recruiting and sitting by the pool and enjoying my grandkids. Our season is long enough. So I'm not sure what the rationale is. We start in September, October practicing, and if you make it to a Final Four, you're going all the way till April. What are they?
They were wanting to keep so that there's a gap there where there's nothing going on in college sports, and they figured that particularly there's a gap where there's basketball isn't able to do anything. They think they could sandwich some games in there that it would be exhibitions.
I don't know. I didn't propose, but we talked years ago about not starting basketball until after one of the holidays. Instead of starting it when football season is finishing, starting it and just be a one-semester sport. But that never got anywhere either, so I'm not real sure. So if I commented on it, it would be not smart on my part.
Hey, Coach. Dylan Machashik with Tiger TV. What are you really looking for Alexis Morris to improve on now after, she was named all SEC first team for preseason and averaged 15 points a game? What are you really looking for her to step up now?
Just be what you would hope that a senior would be. Someone who's very comfortable, someone who is having fun out there, someone who is a leader. She's been in college a long time now, and this is it for her. And you want her to have a great year, and if she has a great year, then you want her to make everybody around her better, and those guys have good years, and keep her healthy. Of course, that's out of our control, but, she wasn't healthy in the playoffs, and we sure missed her.
Sneeze. What's your confidence level in the mesh and the trust this early in the team?
Getting better and better. When you have 9 new players, they have to learn to trust each other, and they have to mesh. And, our theme is piece it together. And we've got to piece it together. When it will happen, and they're all on the same page, I don't know. That's the beauty of coaching. But if you watch us tonight and you watch us in another month, you hope you see improvement, and I see improvement. I know that they are working extremely hard, and it's fun to go to practice when you've got a group so talented that just gives you everything they have.
Yeah, last year y'all took such a big step forward defensively with that personnel, with Autumn and the ball pressure y'all had. Just how have you started to see the defensive identity of this team start to come about?
I think last year, if I can elaborate a little bit, y'all sat here and y'all were worried about where the points were going to come from, right? Because previous was in the 60s, and I told you I'm worried about that too, but I hope we score more points, and you saw that we did. And I think a lot of that was started because of defense, our defensive pressure, man-to-man, make things happen. We've got some that are very good defensively, and then we got some that coast a little bit defensively, and it's our job to make them better.
Kim, you see some of the national articles about women's basketball in the SEC, and they're like, is LSU ready to challenge? Are they a challenge to South Carolina this year? Is Tennessee a challenge to South Carolina? Obviously, we know what they bring back, but where do you feel your program is in terms of, not just winning games, but contending to be a championship caliber team?
This is only my second year here, and I think we forget I inherited a program that won 9 games, and you don't become one of the what I say hunted overnight. We're still hunting. We're the hunter, and we're aware of those great programs. I was a part of those great programs. This program at LSU used to be the hunted. Right now, we're still hunting and being a hunter, and we're getting great recognition for what we did last year. We're getting great recognition for things that are happening in our program, both on the recruiting front and winning some games. But we haven't arrived. I mean, I don't know how anybody could fairly say that. I think we're excited to be going in the right direction. Now, that doesn't mean when we play those great programs, and we will certainly with South Carolina being the national champion, we're going to give them everything we have. And sometimes that's all you can do, and that's what we plan to do.
Hey, Coach, what are you really looking for your team to improve on during these 2 exhibition games before you open the season against Bellarmine?
Well, you want them to improve on everything. I want them to improve on things I'm seeing every day. Don't turn the basketball over. Guard people. Execute an offense. Know what you're doing defensively. Know the plays. Don't have 3 know the plays and 2 don't. And that's what I'm looking at. Certainly, you want to win the game, but if you don't win the game, it's just an exhibition. And I hope we have a decent crowd. It's a Thursday. I don't know, is high school ball on Thursday? It's usually Friday, some Thursday. We have an open date here. LSU football doesn't play, so it's free. I was told it was free, so come see us play.
Angel's getting a lot of love. I guess, what do you hope fans see in her game, or what do you appreciate about her and her game?
Well, Angel Reese, she's a beast on the boards, and I say that with beast being just an unbelievable respect, especially the offensive boards. She's strong. She goes to the boards. I don't know if she's left-handed or right-handed. She tells me she's right-handed, but she shoots the ball left-handed. But when she does layups, I don't know which foot she's going up off of, and so I just leave her alone and just say, put it back in the basket. I think that's the first thing you'll see is unbelievable strength. She's very vocal. You'll see her talk a lot out there. So she will lead us, 1, because she has great talent, and 2, she's not afraid to open her mouth.
Hey, Kim, do you think it's imperative coming out of both of these exhibitions to know what your point guard rotation is going to look like, or is that something that you can go into the first couple of weeks still kind of figuring out?
Well, no, I think I pretty much know it, but yes, if the lights come on and somebody passes somebody else up, I give them an opportunity more in practice maybe, but I'm not going to have 4 quarterbacks. I'm not going to have, usually on the floor, they'll just kind of, one will go to the wing and one will go, it's not like I'm going to substitute new players. I think that there are multiple perimeter players that can play the point and the off guard like it was last year with KP and with Alexis, not so much with Cherry. But, you know, when they become comfortable with each other, they can just kind of fill in out there anywhere on the perimeter.
How does the group of post players you have? I know that's an important, integral part of your game. What you like, how you like to play. How does this group of post players work? Help you get to where you want to be? And with Gusters having left the program, how do you feel about your depth?
Well, we have 5. That's a lot. To me, if you've got 3 good post players, you're okay if they stay healthy. 4 is the ideal number, but when you have more than 4, we have 5. We had 6 when Gusters was with the program. So I have a combination of youth, 2 freshmen, sophomore. If you want to call Angel a sophomore, she's tells me I'm only going to stay 2 years. So I guess you could call her a junior. And then LaDeja being a senior. So you have some experience at the collegiate level, and you have high school talent, but you really don't have any of the post players that played for me. So it's new to them. So we have the depth there, and I feel like that we have enough talent there and enough youth to be very competitive at the post.
So, Coach, you had a complete roster overall with 9 newcomers. How have you seen them mesh together so far during these weeks of practice, and how have they also meshed with your 2 returners as well?
We're a work in progress. We're not a polished product, and we won't be. When you see us tomorrow, I'm sure there'll be many mistakes. The only thing I can tell you you'll see that'll probably be really, really good is effort. You're going to probably see turnovers, bad shots, some of them messing up the plays, some of them getting in the wrong defense. That's why you play exhibitions, and it'll get better.
You know, I haven't known you forever, but this is going to be the first time that your bench staff will be a little different, right, on game day?
The bench
Staff, yeah, your coaching staff. I mean,
well, of course, Bob is new and Gary Reedus is new. Everybody else is pretty much same as last year. We lost Coach Messer. She's now the head coach at Central Florida. So, yeah, the 2 new ones, I'll have to teach them today during warm-ups where they need to sit and what they're responsible for doing during the game.
yeah, that's what I was saying. How much of that do you go over, obviously before?
Oh, yeah, we'll go over it. In fact, we'll do the pregame warm-up with the players today. Actually, they're doing it now while I speak to you, and the coaches are out there on where they will sit and what their responsibilities will be during the game. So, we have staff meetings every morning, and we talked about that. And so, there'll be tape on a chair where the point guard sits. But I know y'all knew that, right? Y'all didn't know stuff like that? Y'all know everything else, okay? You ever notice tape on the chair? Look on my bench, there's a tape, just white tape, taped around it. That's where the point guard sits at every timeout. And to the right of the point guard are my perimeter players, to the left are my post players. And then everybody's in order behind me who stands where. One coach is responsible for timeouts. One coach is responsible for where the ball's taken in. See, we got all those responsibilities going on. And so the majority of my staff already knows what their responsibilities will be, and it'll be what they had last year. Now, Bob and G, they're newcomers to the system, and so they will get some new responsibilities.
Is there some science to that, having the point guard sit in the middle of the huddle and the other players surround? Is there any science to that, or is that just something that
It's something that was done when I was a player. The head coach wants to look in the eyes of that coach on the floor, and your point guard is an extension of you. And so when you're talking to him and you're drawing up stuff, I don't have to sit here and think, well, where's so-and-so? Well, I know over here is going to be my perimeter, over here is going to be my post, and if I draw, you need to see this, all post players, and then the other post players are looking at it right there as well. It was the way I was coached. It was very effective, and I've just done it.
How much pride do you take in assistants going on and taking head coaching positions?
Well, some assistants don't ever want to be head coach. Bob Starkey should be a head coach, can be a head coach, and would be a wonderful head coach, Hall of Fame head coach, but it's not his personality, and he doesn't want to do that. When any assistant of yours leaves to go become a head coach, it is it is like your coaching tree. It's like you're a proud, parent, and they go on and they're successful and they do good. And so you're proud of that, but yeah, getting old. I've got a coaching tree now, right?
Because Coach has time for a couple more questions.
I know Mike asked you about recruiting earlier. I know you have to be careful with what you say, but were there anything was a carryover from Baylor, or did you kind of have to start over with a lot of the players that you're recruiting and been recruiting?
Recruiting is about relationships, and you guys know it's the lifeblood of all programs. Recruiting is never ending, and you develop relationships no matter where you are at a young age. And did we get players here in classes because I was recruiting them there? Honestly, maybe we knew each other, but there are kids that, guys, I'm not sure would have come to Baylor that are coming to LSU, and vice versa. It's not just Coach Mulkey that they're coming to an institution. And that's I always tell them, yes, my reputation, my resume, and all that stuff is wonderful, and if that's why you're coming, it's great. But I try to tell them to develop relationships with the assistants. Come see, do you like this place? Come see what it's about and where you are. There's people that we can get at LSU that I could never have gotten at Baylor. There's people at Baylor that I could never get to come to LSU. So there's a lot of things. Location plays a factor in some recruiting. The conference plays a factor in recruiting. Just a lot of things go into it.
All right, guys, thank you.